Welcome to the Printable Watch YouTube channel. I haven't posted a video in a while, so I do apologise for that. I just wanted to do a bit of a video, just kind of introducing myself, introducing the project, running through my journey so far, and then also looking ahead at other things that I've got planned for the future. If you haven't heard of the Printable Watch, it's a platform I've slowly building over the past year, which is basically a 3D printed watch platform. So where did it all begin? At the start of the year, I had my dad's birthday coming up, and he's impossible to buy for. So I decided to challenge myself. Could I build a completely unique watch? He's a big fan of watches, he's got some great pieces. And I thought, I could maybe 3D print a watch. It'd be totally unique, you can't just buy these things, and it'd make a great birthday present. So I set myself the challenge. And as it turns out, it works. And they turn out pretty good. So it started there, and then once I built this watch, I kind of thought there's surely other people out there that are either doing the same thing or want to do the same thing. So I launched a website. It's just a simple Shopify web store with the parts and instructions on how to do it. The files are on there, and I really just wanted to start building a bit of a community. I wanted other people to have a go at this. Maybe they're going to come up with other ideas, different ways of printing, maybe even different processes altogether. But I really wanted to build like a grassroots DIY watch community and platform. And as it turns out, a lot of people are into this. We've got growing Facebook, Reddit groups. I'm constantly getting messages with watches that people have made using these files. And it's great. I'll show up some of the pictures of the recent ones that I've seen that are just awesome. Yeah, that's where we are at the moment. The watches are easy to build. They're based on the Seiko mods platform. So we're talking the sort of NH movements, which are readily available and quite cheap. And then there's a ton of dials, hands and other parts available that fit these watches. There are some parts that are sort of non-standard, such as the screws and the glass. Non-standard as in they're not what you would typically fit in a Seiko mod. I sell these on my website. I also make no secret of the spec of these, so if you want to go and source your own, that's completely fine with me. The files themselves I sell for £5 UK, which in dollars is about $7 at the moment, I think, depending on what the exchange is. So I try and keep the prices quite low for the files as compared to the work that's gone into it, because there's a lot of R&D that goes into this. I know obviously my running costs, website, email, etc. So it's based on standard parts, so you can buy your own parts and assemble your watch depending on how you want it. I've then also recently released an easier watch to build, and this is using a cheaper quartz movement. I've got a good supply chain of the movements, matching hands that go with it, 'cause sometimes they're a little bit tricky to buy. So I've got some nice hands. The movements are available and readily available, and then I also sell the tools and everything you need to go with it. So essentially you can just buy a kit. It's a great intro into the watchmaking world altogether. So this is if you don't have any tools whatsoever, you can buy this kit, print the files whilst you're waiting for them to arrive. Usually by the time you've cracked the watch print, your parts are there, and then you can assemble. And that's really taken off well, and it's really gotten a lot of new people into the watchmaking world. So I'm pleased to see how that's going. Since starting, I've had lots of great feedback from the community, lots of really supportive messages from you guys. It's really motivated me to keep this project going and keep developing it. In March, I think it was, I attended a Red Bar event, which if you don't know is a watch meet. There'll be one in your area. I'd highly recommend going if you're into obviously watches. And the owner of Fears Watches was there at the time, Nicholas. I got a chance to sort of chat to him. He was interested in the project. It's quite cool. So he offered me a few sort of tips on a bit of advice really. So yeah, that was Red Bar. I got loads of great feedback from the watch community, a lot of locals. Somebody even bought the watch I was wearing that night, which is a shame because I like that one, but the beauty is I can just print another one and build it. Looking forward, I've got a few ideas of where to take it next. It's a bit overwhelming to kind of determine what I should do next. I've almost developed a chronograph, which I believe will be the first 3D printed chronograph. It's based on VK movement, which is a really nice, again, readily available, fairly cheap movement. It's mecha quartz, I think they call it, so the second-hand sweeps, but it is battery powered, so cheap chronograph movements aren't really worth going for. They're not very reliable. It's obviously quite a complicated mechanism. I'm trying to work on like a sort of tank style dress watch. I put a concept up on my Instagram page, which, by the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you definitely should, because that's where I post all my latest updates. So check that out. I'll have the link in the description. So I put a bit of a concept art of this dress watch, and that got loads of great feedback. I think there's a lot of people that would be up for that. My challenge with that at the moment is finding a good crystal that will work well with it. It's a bit harder to source rectangular crystals, but it will be there at some point. I'm also looking at maybe doing a digital watch, something really cheap. I found a cheap digital watch movement that I could maybe sell. It's all kind of open source, so let me know if that's something that interests you. Not a smartwatch, just more like your sort of Casio digital watch, so very basic LCD 7-segment displays. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you subscribe and follow me on Instagram. It means a hell of a lot when I see a new follower or a new subscriber pop up, and it just really keeps me motivated to push this project forward and put out more content. So yeah, thanks for watching, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.